this is your second, third, fourth trip with Alex?
Yes, yeah. We've
Indeed.
done Cape Town and all around the garden route, and now we're here. So yes, good, all good.
And impressions? How does this compare to the garden route?
Straighter roads.
Yes, that's what I was going to
good,
say.
Good gravel. We found some good gravel today, especially around Rorke's Drift. We enjoyed that. That was great.
Bigger mountains here.
Right. Potholes. Big potholes.
Big old potholes, yeah.
Potholes the size of a small country.
Yeah, nearly as bad as Oxfordshire, the potholes, but the big potholes.
So, Jo, this is your first trip to Africa, per se?
Yes, that's right.
And first time on the back of a bike?
First time definitely on the back of a bike, bit of an experience.
He's doing very well, isn't he?
He's kept up beautifully with the group, and Alex has done a great job of taking everyone into consideration, whether an advanced rider or somebody who's new to it.
Is this what you expected it to be?
It's better than I expected it to be. It's definitely an adventure. I was reflecting today on the back of the bike that this changes everything I thought about Africa, because I think people just think of Africa as one thing, and in an ignorant way I just thought of things like do they know it's Christmas single and things like that, which sounds outrageous. And just travelling around, we've only been here for 3 days so far, everything has changed in my ideas. And I did research beforehand. I knew the statistics about Swaziland, about the poverty, about things like that.
So this is my first time in Swaziland, and where we're staying, this is absolutely unique. And we have our warthog friend just behind us as well, which is great.
It's just amazing. I keep pinching myself because I'm so fortunate to be here and just doing something differently every day.
What's it like as a pillion? Because a lot of people will be saying, I would imagine, yeah, it's great, but surely if you're sitting behind somebody, all you're going to see is the back of a helmet.
No, in fact, I think I have the best deal because I get to look around and I get to reflect and see what's going on. The only thing I feel is that I'd like to linger a bit more, which is only a good thing.
Now look, here's our friend. Now I don't know whether we're going to get chased away or not. No, he's just going to get warm.
I feel like I want to come back. I feel that the motorcycle tour is the right combination of being guided but seeing something that is perhaps true. We've got to speak to local people. We've made a point of stopping in local restaurants, going to the supermarkets, chatting to people, and I think it's made me want to come back.
Good. Africa is, as I said, there are people who soak Africa up, literally.
This place itself, warrants 2 or 3 days, doesn't it?
It does. Anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you. Andy, this is your first time in Africa as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not only is it my first time in Africa, but it's my first time doing a motorcycle tour, and it's my first time of riding more than 110 miles in a day. I did a day's course before I come here in preparation, and we were riding 250s, very, very light bikes. What's happened with the gravel is I saw Ian and Chris go off like a bat out of hell and the dust going all over the place. And then around about 15k,
it kicks in.
I thought, they're going, I was going quicker and quicker, and the wheels weren't doing bad things, and then we were up to 80 to 100k on the gravel, and then you kind of felt the bikes just levelling out. And then this morning, cracking fun.
Is this what you thought it was going to be?
Nothing like it.
In a good way or a bad way?
First of all, the sophistication of the country has surprised me. I thought we were going to be in much rougher conditions than we actually are. I mean, I kind of imagined that we were going to be going very, very slow and working our way through Nadgery stuff. And
for everybody who's watching this, as this is your first time in Africa, the first time on a long trip, with a pillion, you will do more?
I'm up for it. It depends on Joe, of course.
No, Joe's next trick is to get her own licence, and then you both go off.
Yeah, because then you can get some...
My next trick is to pat that warthog.
So next morning, we had to head off back into South Africa. Pig's Peak was definitely everybody's favourite piece of road. But don't take my word for it.
Marvellous. Superb. What can I say? A real boys' adventure.
Another border crossing, pain-free again, and we have to leave Swaziland and its rugged beauty behind us. So we travel on through Barberton to our next stop at the Mahula Game Reserve. Alex got permission from the owners for us to ride through the reserve. Now this really is a rare treat and certainly not an everyday occurrence, and it gave us the opportunity to not only see and smell the wildlife, but without having to wear helmets, we could also actually hear it. It's day 5, and with an easy timetable, Andy and Joe found a spectacular dam to visit. Meanwhile, Chris and Ian decided that they're going to take themselves off-road, and they were going to climb a 6,000-foot trail. However, before they reached the top, disaster! Our old friend Mr. Puncture revisited us. So that meant yet another repair. However, we had no tyre levers. So our friends from the reserve got the flatbed out, and we retrieved Ian and his bike and took them off to Mr. F.W. Cronje, our new friend, who turned out to be a real find. Arriving at Mr. Cronje's was like walking into the original Aladdin's cave. It was full of bikes and a variety of vehicles that he and his sons had built or were in the process of building. This really was a godsend, and overnight Ian's tyre was fixed, and again it was for free. After such a hectic day, we decided that we were going to cool down. We had a great evening, we included a night drive, and it seems that some animals just want to eat, and others were just plain weird. Whilst Ian's tyre was being fixed, we enjoyed an early morning walk, taking in scenery, a variety of game, including hippo, and a fairly subdued looking fungus toad. But once again it was all over far too quickly, and it was time to hit the road. But we still had one more stop to make. This was to visit Oscar and the rest of the team at the Mahula Wildlife Rehabilitation Centre. This truly is a jewel in a brilliantly glittering crown.
Gate to the Kruger Park, that was a cattle farm. As well, because in the past, most of our farmers that occupied these areas here, they did not actually see a value in the wild animals.
Many of you may be familiar with the YouTube footage of Stoffel, the Houdini of honey badgers. Well, this is Stoffel's home, although we only saw his prison mate Julius. But we did also encounter a Muppet entertaining local schoolchildren. It's raining now, not cats and dogs, but cows. We're en route to Dolstrom, which is our final sleep stop of the trip, and the weather seems to be preparing us for our return to the UK. It's our final day, and after a good night's sleep and a really hearty breakfast, we still had time for a quick walk through the town. Hi, Martin from England. Your name is?
Benny.
Benny?
Nice to meet you. Francois.
Francois. Yeah. Okay, so you've obviously been riding.
Yeah. We got a bit of rain yesterday. So yeah.
Where did you come from?
We came from Witbank. Traveled through all the gravel roads, past Loskop Dam, Nature Reserve.
And is that a regular trip for you? Is this just like
it's the first time actually. We bought these about a month ago.
Oh right, so that's the first trip out for them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no number plate. That's a nice one.
It fell off actually.
Officer.
But, this one has got one, so it's fine.
So you're okay.
We actually saw the route on the web. The people from Pretoria like to travel it in one day from Pretoria here and back.
And that's what, 6 hours maybe, or?
Yeah, around about 6 hours, 5-6 hours. Yeah.
So it's a good trip.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Right. Well, look, this is obviously a biker's mecca. We've just passed this place. Big array of machines. Oh, we're riding those.
We're from Joburg, the majority of us. Just taking a weekend trip up to Sabi, Graskop. Try and ride every Sunday, every second Sunday, just on a breakfast run.
Whose is the 800?
The Adventure, it's mine. Went on a breakfast run with the BMW club, and the 1200 guys were saying it's a bit lazy, too up with luggage.
And still perfectly acceptable.
I find it perfect.
Good.
Even with 2 up, it's more than enough power to, in 6 gears, just open it and fly.
And the cops? Good and different? Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think the local community depends on bikers.
So they're happy. Anyway, listen, thank you for your time.
It's a pleasure.
Safe riding.
You too.
And have a little look at the Adventure Bike TV.
So this is our last fill up. This is it. We're going 1 kilometre down the road and we have to give the bikes back.
So there you are, South Africa done in 8 days. Well, at least a bit of it, just a tiny little bit of it.